Hello, greetings everyone, and welcome to another edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
Post Cinco de Mayo. I'm Daniel Pineda.
And my name's Adele Quo.
Cinco de Mayo. Oh no,
Cinco
it's
de
like
Mayo.
That was
Ocho de
fun.
Mayo. Ocho de Mayo.
On a
It's
Sunday.
Ocho de Mayo show for 2019. Thanks for joining us. What we have is right here in front of me. News and Community Bulletin Board. Adele Quo is here for another installment of
It's easy being
Green.
green.
Indeed
Got
it is.
Finally.
Community Bulletin Board, as I mentioned, a roll-in from Denise, and tonight she's talking about the play Savannah Disputation. Stick around for that. News for seniors, of course. And then a roll-in, our very own Styrofoam mom, Miriam Gennari, and her guest. And that's our show. Before we begin, social media time.
That's right. I
Senior
really
Pineda.
love the energy, Craig. You're really into it this week. We can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. Also, facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. And we can't forget, on the radio.
The radio, WERA 96.7 LPFM. Check us out.
Check it out.
Here we go. First of our news items. Well, Amazon, you've heard all about it, has announced that they have begun hiring for their new HQ2 location with a handful of jobs starting at a temporary office that's coming up in June. 2 of the 5 listed jobs are in finance and human resources to facilitate the hiring of more employees. The other 3 jobs are for, and we're quoting now, global category manager, end quote. None of the notices list a salary, so it's hard to tell whether these are the $150,000 jobs or not. Stay tuned on that. Daniel?
Well, Craig, on to some other news for tonight. The Census Bureau has announced that Arlington County has the 6th highest population growth in Virginia. This is based on a reported increase of 2,400 people between July 1st of 2017 and July 1st of 2018. Look for this ranking to change in the next couple of years as Amazon's hiring, well, gets underway. Craig.
And Daniel, also in our news items, well, the City of Falls Church has tied with Arlington County for the lowest unemployment rate in Northern Virginia. Arlington's rate held steady at 2.1%, consisting of about 3,200 people, a little bit more than 3,200 people without jobs. Last July, Arlington had 2,952 people without jobs for a 1.9%. This will be another number to watch as Amazon continues to do its hiring. Will any of the current unemployed people get to work there? Well, stay tuned. We'll let you know about that as it becomes available. Daniel.
Well, Craig, Arlington County officials have announced that those who wish to continue to use the Jefferson Davis Highway address will continue to obtain delivery via the U.S. Postal Service in perpetuity, even if the road is renamed to Richmond Highway. Webster's dictionary defines the word perpetuity as eternity. The Jefferson Davis Highway was originally sponsored in 1913 by the United Daughters of the Confederacy to begin in Arlington and extend west through the southern states, ending in San Diego, California. Since the road itself is less than 110 years old, perpetuity seems like a rather long time to promise.
All right, just one more time, just for grins.
Perpetuity.
All right, very good. We like it.
How many times?
It's a great word. Okay, we'll be back with CBB, as I promised, right after we hear from Adele Quo with another installment of
It's Easy Being Green.
Indeed it did. Here's
Wow.
Adele.
All right, thanks for that warm welcome.
Absolutely.
We're back. It's Easy Being Green, and my name's Adele Quo, and we're here with Joe Tree Frog, our fun little mascot here. It's time again for the big, and I say B-I-G, big plant sale at Green Spring Gardens. This exciting annual tradition takes place on Saturday, May 18th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So come and shop for beautiful and unusual plants to enhance your garden this spring. Over 40 vendors will be selling a wide variety of perennials, annuals, vegetables, shrubs, trees, and unique plants. Find native plants that can be hard to locate in local garden centers. You can snag a cool carnivorous plant or two native to Virginia from Meadowview Biological Research, or pick up certified organic veggies, herbs, and fruit, or obtain rare and beautiful azaleas while discussing their details with experts from the Nova chapter of the Azalea Society of America, and much, much more. The Garden Gate Plant Shop will be open also, and they carry plants particularly suited to conditions in Virginia, including sun and shade-loving perennials, shrubs, trees, alpines, water-wise varieties, herbs, conifers, and more. Bring your garden questions and choose from plants that you can't find in the ordinary big box stores and nurseries. Master gardeners will be on hand to offer their advice, and 2 food trucks will be serving up delicious food. Savor the bountiful baked goods from the popular Frogs Bake Sale and Cafe in the Horticulture Center. This year, kids can buy a cupcake and decorate it any way they want. All proceeds help to support the gardens and educational efforts at Green Spring. You can also enjoy the beautiful park grounds, meander the wooded stream valley with ponds, a naturalistic native plant garden. There are more than 20 thematic demonstration gardens, a greenhouse, a plant shop, 2 gift shops, a historic house, and a horticultural reference library. Green Springs Gardens also recently completed a project in 2014 to restore key elements of Beatrix Ferrand's garden room behind the 1784 historic house. It's a beautiful, spacious lawn enclosed by a crescent of boxwood. Though modest in scope and scale, the garden is a pure expression of Ferrand's style and technique. It was one of the last projects of her celebrated career, and it's her only garden design in Virginia. Green Spring Gardens is a must-visit park, a year-round goldmine of information and inspiration for the home gardener. It's an outdoor classroom, a museum, and a National Historic Site. So remember, it's easy being green, visiting our Green Spring Gardens.
I wonder what Joe Tree Frog would think about the Frogs Bake Sale and Cafe.
Yes.
Well, he looks very
might be
happy.
part of
They're
it.
not baking frogs, are they? Hopefully
Oh,
not.
no, they are the frogs.
Oh, they are the frogs. Excellent. Okay, we
Thank you, Adele.
appreciate it. Thanks, Adele, for another edition of It's Easy Being Green. Here we go, as promised now. CBB, our Community Bulletin Board file. Item number 1. Want to experience the taste of Arlington? Well, come to the Quarter Fest, a new street festival celebrating one of Arlington's newest developments, Ballston Quarter. Features a street pub, live music, food trucks, a pub crawl or bar crawl, and more. There's a little something for everyone. This festival will replace the older Taste of Arlington Festival, though Quarter Fest promises to provide much of the same appeal. This is all happening on Saturday, May 18, and Sunday, May 19. It'll be held at Wilson Boulevard between North Taylor and North Randolph Street in Ballston. Attendance is free, though premium ticket packages are available. For more information, you can visit their website, should be on your screen now and in your ear, www.quarterfestballston, all one word, .org. Daniel.
Well, Craig, on to our next story for tonight. Do you love pit bulls and think they're treated unfairly in society? Well, Stand Up for Pits is hosting a multitude of events, including a donation drive, adoption center, silent auction, and even a comedy show. These are all centered around saving pit bulls who are treated unfairly because of their social stigma. This is all taking place on Sunday, May the 19th at 4 p.m. with the comedy show starting at 7:30 p.m. That's at the Arlington Cinema and Draft House located at 2903 Columbia Pike. The comedy show is 21 plus and ticketed, but all of the other events are free.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. Also in our CBB items, looking for an event Both parents and children ages 2 and younger can take part in. Well, come to Wobbly Walkers, where children are introduced to language and literature through singing, dancing, and clapping along to stories and nursery rhymes. This is all happening on Friday, May 17 from 10:30 to 11 in the morning at the children's area at Westover Branch Library. They're located at 1644 North McKinley Road in Suite 3. Attendance is on a first-come, first-served basis, so get there early. Daniel.
Well, Craig, ever feel like your votes don't matter? Well, join Bill Schneider, a GMU professor and author of Standoff: How America Became Ungovernable. He will be discussing American politics, how the voting system works, issues we face today in the world of voting, and why the results of elections just don't make any sense sometimes. That's taking place on Monday, May the 20th from 3 to 4:30 p.m. in the Barbara M. Donnellan Auditorium at the Central Library, located at 1015 North Quincy Street. The event is for adults aged 18 and up. And as always, we want to thank Jordan Kuharski for the CBB stories for tonight. He always does such a professional and great job with the stories.
Thanks, Jordan. We appreciate it. And stick around. News for Seniors is coming your way. Don't go away right after we hear from Denise and her reviews. Here's Denise.
In the Savannah Disputation, now playing at the Little Theater of Alexandria, a young evangelist knocks on the door of an older Catholic woman, and all hell begins to break loose. Undaunted, the evangelist comes back, and this time is received by the first woman's sister, who offers a much warmer welcome. Ashley Amadon plays the evangelist with great conviction in her faith, but less hope in her own future. When she asserts that Catholics do not go to heaven, she ignites a near rage in the acerbic Mary, played with the proper amount of sarcasm by Mary Jo Morgan. Patricia Spencer Smith's depiction of Margaret has far less resolve and shows some signs of a weakened faith and perhaps a desire to learn more about the evangelist's religion. When these two sisters can't silence Melissa, Mary plots an ambush and has Margaret invite her to dinner when their parish priest will be there. Michael J. Fisher, as the reluctant Father Murphy, gets dragged into the argument. These four actors, directed by Will Jarrett, are the strength of this production. They're well suited to their roles, have great comic timing, and present credible confrontations. I had my doubts about how easily Margaret's faith was shaken. Neither Melissa nor those glossy pamphlets were that convincing. Perhaps those troubling voicemails urging one of the sisters to make a doctor's appointment to review test results were the culprits. If Margaret knew that they were meant for her, perhaps she was contemplating her own mortality and thus examining her faith. The playwright, Evan Smith, chooses ambiguity rather than telling us for whom they were meant. The argument at dinner first focuses on a possible grammatical error due to the many translations of the Bible, but expands to a more universal subject, loneliness. When the evangelists desire to be married, the priest's celibacy, and the sister's spinsterhood are examined, the characters find something in common, even if they can't agree on a path to heaven. These exchanges all take place in the living and dining rooms of the sisters' home, replete with stained glass windows, a prominent crucifix, and religious statuary, as conceived by John Burgess, the set designer. The Savannah Disputation continues at the Little Theater of Alexandria through May 18th. Join their religious debate and find your own faith restored and invigorated. I'm Denise Pringle. Now back to the news desk.
All right, thanks, Denise, and her thoughts on the Savannah Disputation
Come on, man.
at LTA Little Theater of Alexandria. Thanks, Denise. We
Thank you,
appreciate it
Denise.
as always. All right, here we go. As promised now, news for seniors. News for seniors glasses are almost ready. There we go. And it looks like this. Well, May is National Fitness Month. Arlington's Office of Senior Adult Programs is celebrating by conducting a 55-plus fitness day with free fitness activities and demonstrations for all fitness levels. They'll have yoga, pickleball, exercises, dance, fusion, and line dancing, and a whole lot more. There are all the programs to be offered there for this fitness day. And this event takes place on Friday, May 17 from 9 to 12:30 at Walter Reed Community and Senior Center. They're located at 2909 16th Street South. Parking is free. It's available on site. For more information and to register, give them a call at this number, 703-228-4771. Daniel.
Pickleball.
Pickleball.
Well, Craig, what was it like to be among the first female special agents in the FBI? Retired agent Leslie Burns will discuss her decision to join the FBI, her experiences in the training academy, and important cases she handled. That's coming up on Tuesday, May the 14th at 1:30 p.m. That's at the Lee Community and Senior Center located at 5722 Lee Highway. For more information and to register, call 703-228-0555.
All right, Daniel, also in our news for seniors, well, you've heard about it, long-term care insurance. Do you have a long-term care insurance policy, but are not sure how or when to use it? Well, you will want to join Phil Turner, a certified senior advisor with Right at Home of Northern Virginia, for a discussion about long-term care insurance. He will discuss what services are covered, how and when to initiate a claim, barriers to having a claim approved, and strategies to ensure that you receive the maximum benefit from your policy. This program takes place on Thursday, May 16, from 1 to 2 in the afternoon at Langston Brown Community and Senior Center. They're at 2121 North Culpeper Street. For more information and to register, give them a call at 703-228-6300. Daniel.
Well, Craig, on to our final news, senior stories for tonight. A vegetable gardening project with seniors and teens, guided by master gardeners from Virginia Cooperative Extension. Well, we'll begin shortly at the Walter Reed Senior Center. Seniors will share their gardening expertise with teens, resulting in a bountiful harvest of vegetables to share. Well, the project will begin on Monday, May the 20th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. That's taking place at the Walter Reed Community and Senior Center, and that is located at 2909 16th Street South. Volunteers are welcome. If you need any more information, call 703-228-0955. And Craig, as always, we want to thank our own Judy Masabni for helping us out with the senior stories tonight and every night.
Thanks, Judy. We appreciate it. All right, we'll be back with sign off and bye-bye right after another installment of Styrofoam Mom. Here's Miriam.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. I'm here with Parisa Tafti. She's running as the Democratic candidate for the Commonwealth Attorney against Theo Stamos. Welcome, Parisa.
Thank you so much for having me, Miriam.
Well, the last time I had Theo here, she talked a little bit about the pursuit of justice and humanity for all. Those are really powerful statements, but I want to hear from you what it is about your campaign that really sets the tone for why you're running for office.
Well, I've been doing criminal justice reform work for almost 20 years, and I have sat across from clients who were so profoundly mentally ill that they couldn't respond to my questions because of the voices in their heads. And I've sat with victims and their families and had to tell them that the wrong person was in prison for murdering their loved ones. And, I've spent my entire career finding the mistakes that the system makes and then trying to correct them. And when I started to look at what was going on in Arlington, I realized that the policies weren't really reflecting my values and the values of my neighbors. and I decided to run so that I can bring this conversation to the fore.
And it's important right now. I mean, it's a national conversation, but you're right here in Arlington, there are some disparities. Can you tell me a little bit about those?
Well, so one of the disparities is that if you are Black in Arlington, you're 8 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana possession than if you're white. And it's useful to compare that to Alexandria and Fairfax, and it's the rate is twice as much in Arlington as it is. And there are disparities in Alexandria and Fairfax, but the disparities are more than twice in Arlington.
And the laws are just complicated because, you know, in DC it's legal, people think it's fine, and then young people come here or come home and they use marijuana and then they end up with the record, right?
Right. So marijuana possession, a conviction for it, may not necessarily end up in jail with jail time every single time, but it does have profound collateral consequences, including losing security clearance or not being able to get security clearance, including not being able to get federal housing assistance, losing Pell Grants and Stafford loans and other federal financial aid for school. So even if something doesn't end up in jail time, there are significant and profound collateral consequences nonetheless.
And I think that's kind of the underpinning of your campaign, the collateral consequences of things that a lot of people take for granted. One of the issues that's pretty controversial is the cash bail system. Tell us about your position on that.
So I think we should eliminate the use of cash bail, and it's not something that has to happen at the state level. It would be great if it did, but Charlottesville essentially has not used cash bail for almost 20 years. And Richmond has stopped seeking cash bail in many cases. Alexandria stopped seeking cash bail in many cases. And it's a common sense and data-driven solution that both makes things more fair, but also the consequences of having cash bail are essentially that we're creating more crime, because every single day that a person spends in jail waiting for the resolution of their case, now whether their case is resolved by an acquittal, by a conviction, or by the charges being dropped eventually, every single day that a person spends in jail makes it more likely that they'll reoffend.
Because they might not have opportunities when they get out of jail.
Exactly.
And speaking of getting out of jail, another controversy is the ability to vote when one gets out of jail after a conviction. You believe very strongly that in your position, if you were Commonwealth's attorney, you could influence that. Tell me about that.
My opponent signed on to a brief that was essentially suing Governor McAuliffe for trying to re-enfranchise or restore the right to vote to 206,000 returning citizens. Out of the 120 Commonwealth attorneys, only 43 signed the brief. And Commonwealth attorneys do have a significant voice in policy matters, and the Virginia Association of Commonwealth Attorney actually is the most powerful lobby in Virginia. And so if a Commonwealth attorney, such as myself, hopefully, were to go down, for example, just a few weeks ago when a bill was in subcommittee to introduce a constitutional amendment to automatically restore voting rights to returning citizens once they've served their sentences and paid their fines. A Commonwealth attorney going down there and saying, look, when you give people the right to vote back, there's a strong correlation between that and public safety. So when people are buying into the system and have a voice in the system, they respect the rule of law more. And so this is really actually a public safety issue. I think that a Commonwealth attorney going down there would have changed the result of in the subcommittee. So you can use your voice for reform if you choose to.
So basically, here we are, 2 women, 2 strong backgrounds in law, not necessarily as much differing opinions, but approach. You seem to really want to take this as an a role in the spotlight to advocate for some of these initiatives that are very important to the community. So I want to applaud you for running for office. I think it's fantastic. If people want to learn more about your campaign, tell me, how do they do that?
My website is parisaforjustice.com, and I invite folks to volunteer, and remember to vote, please, on June 11th.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations for running and wanting to serve your community.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I want to thank all of you for watching this edition of The Sustainable Scoop. I'm Miriam Gennari. Back to the news desk.
All right, thanks,
Thank you,
Miriam.
Miriam.
Thanks, Miriam. We
Awesome.
appreciate it. Another installment of her Sustainable Scoop.
Yes.
Look forward to that every week. Okay, well, this is the part of the show where we wrap it up. And any final comments
Yes,
before we say goodbye?
Happy Mother's
Happy
Day.
Mother's Day
and happy
indeed.
birthday to my grandma Alicia Gonzalez. She'll be 92.
Oh, my
Wow,
goodness. Happy
92.
birthday.
Yes.
Alicia?
Alicia Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Love you, Grandma.
Happy birthday and happy Mother's Day
Happy
to all
Mother's
you
Day.
moms out there. And good luck to all of you people who are out there supporting moms and getting out there and buying all that stuff for Mother's Day. Have fun.
Don't forget the flowers.
And hope you survive
Chocolate.
all that. Flowers and chocolate.
Love you, Mom.
That's it. Maybe a lobster tail or two. That would be
Yeah,
good.
that would be nice.
That'd be nice. Okay, anything else to add before we go? No?
Yes. Yes.
Now what?
Should they fire the
No, no,
national?
no.
We're
We
not
gotta go.
going
We gotta
there.
say.
We're not going there.
Next week, if you're there, we'll be here and we'll try it all again.
I
Have a
miss you,
safe
Dusty
week.
Baker.
Bye-bye.